That's exactly what I was thinking too. All right, let me bring up my my backup.
Back up.
You're really fired up, aren't you?
Just testing my mic, bro. That's my arm look all weird.
I'm acting like I don't know what I'm doing here. 'Cause I don't.
Precky, what do you think? I'm not sure.
Not sure. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I just kicked the ball.
I kick the ball.
I kick the ball.
All right.
I kick the ball.
Are we good?
Yeah, I think so.
Are you Googling World Cup?
No, I'm pulling something up.
Just a general search, World Cup. What will come up? Who knows?
Who knows?
What's the first thing that comes up? FIFA World Cup
Well,
2026.
it tells what it is.
Oh, that's the AI thing, yeah. Which is kind of frustrating. I don't know. Maybe I'm too old school to...
You are.
You think?
Yeah. Without even going into it.
Age.
There we go. I was just trying to get the...
Scores. Yes.
Scores. Netherlands and Japan right
Kyle's
now,
game
9
just started,
minutes.
So we need to keep track of... Are you going to be one to keep track of that?
I can keep it on here. I'm connected to your server,
Holland
bro.
and Japan. It's 0-0s, right? So.
It's Netherlands and Japan.
Netherlands.
The Netherlands.
I call them Holland.
Holland. And
Oder
Japan.
Die Niederlande.
Japan.
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 Our old friends. Germans, old friends. Too soon?
Too soon.
Too soon. Welcome back to the Check Complete podcast.
Welcome
Thanks
back.
that you're here. We're glad to have you. We're excited to get this going. This is a little bit of a World Cup episode.
I
And
thought of a movie quote just then, but I can't.
It was? Oh, you have one. You don't want to say it? Is it?
Yeah, it's...
Do we need to donkey bleep it out? So this cat over here came over to watch the Germany Curaçao game.
Mm-hmm.
My
team lost.
No, the U.S. won. You're not Curaçao fan, are you?
No,
Are you
I'm
just
not.
Curaçao fan because you came into my house? So needless to say, I'm decked out in my Germany gear. My scarf's over there. I forgot it. Okay.
I don't know why this guy loves Germany so much.
I don't know. That might be a reason for that. But anyways, World Cup edition. It has started. We're on day 4 now. I think it's Sunday. So
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yep, day 4.
So they started out with 2 games a day, and now they're going to 4 games a day on the weekends, which is like pump these guys out, right?
My DVR is working overtime.
Yes. However, the late game last night, I was really excited about because I was coming home from work. I was going to catch at least the first half of it. It's on FS2. I don't have FS2. Why can't all these games be on free TV? Come on,
rabbit
man.
ears. With foil, and
so
you got to hold it right way.
So I just watched Netflix and
chilled.
Went to bed. Netflix and chilled. Exactly what I did.
I was excited, so excited for that 11 o'clock game that I fell asleep.
Oh, you did?
I didn't watch any of it.
But you said you DVR'd everything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like it's one I need to go back and watch, though.
That's what I was going to ask. Do you rewatch every game or?
No.
I'll be honest. I don't have an interest in, I would say probably 60% of the games. But we have a good one going on right now. I mean, okay, let's talk about the one we just watched. Germany, Curaçao. Final score 7-1.
Blowout.
Happy for Curaçao because I feel like they came into the tournament. The expectations can't be too high. They were I think ranked 82 in the world.
Not in that game, at least.
Well, you're playing one of the top teams in the world, right? But you're coming in, never qualified for a World Cup. You're playing against the top nation in the world, and in a, I wouldn't say difficult group, but it's Ivory Coast and Ecuador. They're not push-arounds, right? You're clearly the worst team in the group, and you score against Germany. I mean, that's a big thing, right?
Early.
early in the first half, so good for them. The better team won at the end. I think it is clear. And I don't think the score was really blown out of proportion, but there were numerous chances, but
I feel like it was fitting.
It was fitting. Yeah.
It was expected.
That was the
expected.
I'm glad that
desired
Curaçao, hopefully took something away from this game, and they can feel good about great, and Journey can too, because hey, we gave up a goal against Curaçao, and that probably shouldn't have happened. What do we need to do to get better? So it's a learning experience for everybody, right? But anyway,
sure.
Right now we have a good game going on with you call them what? Netherlands?
Well, that's what it says.
I
Netherlands.
was just calling Holland, but and Japan. And the score is.
But you've lived a lot closer than I, so you probably know better.
Yes.
And Japan, we're in the 13th minute
still.
at this point, and 0-0.
And on a personal
or
level,
0-0.
On a personal level, we have somebody that's connected to this game. Our local World Cup hero, Kyle Atkins, is AR2
sir.
on this match with his World Cup crew, Corey Parker and Ish, right? The referee. So, I mean, those guys.
Great crew.
Great crew. I mean,
Great
no question about it. Those guys went to the last World Cup. We're on the final and everything. So you can't say anything bad about those guys. And happy they got another shot at it.
Absolutely.
We just talked about Tori Penso and her crew.
Waiting to see what her assignment's going to be.
What the assignment's coming out.
Yep.
So we haven't heard anything yet. So
that's exciting as well.
Absolutely. And
who else is with her? Usually?
Brooke Mayo and Nesbitt. Catherine
Katie Nesbitt.
Yes, Katie. She's so good. I have not met Brooke Mayo, but Katie is top. She's good at what she does, and she's super smart and very good at and absolutely. And Tori is, Tori Penso. What are you going to say about her? Right? She's top referee.
Better
absolutely.
of the two, maybe.
The better
of the two Pensos.
I'm not going to say that. I won't.
No,
say
Chris
that.
said that.
Chris
straight
said that?
from his mouth.
I have to
in one of our previous episodes.
Yeah, let's look back at that episode.
Look at the bookcases and.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, at that point, I think he might have had a couple more.
Maybe.
Not so much anymore. That was a couple of years ago we had them on.
Yeah,
anyway,
she's lapped him.
Wish them well.
At this point. Yes.
Obviously, it takes two to tango, and I always like to say for any refereeing that I personally do, there's a wife at home that takes care of the household when I'm gone for
the real MVPs.
Hey, when I talk about this already. When I started getting ready for my high school season this past spring, and we had some plans for the family, and she says, "Hey, you're not going to be home for a few weeks.
We did
so
talk about
let's do
that.
this
Yeah.
now before So there's always somebody at home that takes care of and the Pensos have 3 little beautiful kids. He's a busy man.
I'm in that boat.
So
I got a little one.
Yeah.
She can't take care of herself while I'm gone. So
No, she can barely walk.
no, she can walk
And
run
too
and
much,
jump.
and you have to keep track of where she's
Yeah,
going. Or
she's-
anyway. So
She's
Great talk. You keep me-
19 months going on 19 years old. So
keep me updated on the score over there.
Yep.
So what we're going to be talking about today is about, and we kind of touched on it last week about the laws, understanding the laws, knowing the laws, and we have every year law changes, right? So.
some sort.
I'm gonna bring this guy back out. This is a couple years old. This book changes over years.
Yep.
And the reason it changes is because things happen somewhere, and they adjust, certain things. So if something happens in a game, and they feel it's a problem or something they need to adjust, they have meetings and they propose new laws, and they are implemented that following year, right? So that's what we have happening this year, as we have every year. This year, especially with the World Cup, is kind of interesting. So we have some new laws coming in that are, I don't want to say they're being trialed at the World Cup, because they're not being trialed. They're already implemented ahead of time. Because usually the year for soccer is July through end of June. So beginning of July through the end of June.
Right.
So new laws take effect in July, but since we're still in June 14th, there is the provision that they can use them for any competition that happened before that new season starts. So, and that's what they're doing for the World Cup. So we want to go a little bit into changes that were made for the past season, for the 25-26 season, and how they have affected the game. And we have one of our great Kansas referees and now administrators helping us out with a little video on his take on that. And then we go to the law changes for 26-27 for the next year, starting in July. And some of those already taken effect at the World Cup. So anyway, yeah. So you want to get started on that or
going on.
anything? Oh, we should talk about something else that happened last weekend.
What happened last weekend? We had a little road trip.
Went on a road trip.
Mr. Tiemann and I and another good buddy of ours, Kenny.
Former guest on the show many moons ago. Season 1, I believe. If I got to look it up. Episode.
I don't remember what episode it was.
Kenny Bartkowski.
Legend
In the Kansas City area. We went on a road trip to the United States, Germany send-off game at Soldier Field in Chicago. I had a great time. And maybe I'll show some pictures at the end of this thing. About 3 of us had a good time driving up there. I think we went up there Friday.
Yep, left Friday
morning early. So we had time in the afternoon and evening to spend in Chicago. And then Saturday went to the game in the afternoon. Yep. Hung around a little bit longer. And then Sunday morning we recuperated a little bit, drank lots of water, and
I actually drank lots of water Saturday.
And, yeah, that too. And made it back on Sunday and
yep,
no problems. But yeah, I had a great time.
Yeah, great wonderful. Time. That atmosphere was
a good. I don't want to say it was sold out, but it was dang
close.
Near. It was I've never been to Soldier Field.
They said what, like
63,000?
Yeah, just over 63, just under 64.
But if you're in a stadium, you look around, it's like, okay, there's
open
seats.
There's
a few empty seats. Which is another topic for the World Cup, right? But that doesn't mean that those seats weren't sold, right? They could be just people that didn't show up or whatever. But that's another topic for the World Cup because
electric, nonetheless.
Lots of empty seats at World Cup games, right?
And there were a lot of Germany fans there.
There were.
I mean, I expected Germany fans.
I made a few phone calls.
Maybe I didn't expect that many Germany fans.
We travel well.
I do travel well.
So no, it was good.
So much fun.
And we had a group of 4, and they were true Germans. They spoke German, so we had them right in front of us.
Yeah, they were talking smack about Kenny and I.
I didn't hear that. Although I know that
with our U.S.
the one kid in front of me kept high-fiving me for the Germany goals and everything. So
yeah, it was pretty
good
fun.
times. Good times. We all had a good time. It was all very friendly.
I didn't see any issues. I was pretty friendly for the time we showed up to time we left.
Yeah, I mean high prices.
There was a
beer,
there was a
derogatory
Green Bay Packer chant as we were leaving the stadium for some reason.
Oh yeah, I kind of missed that. I
understand like where we were and the reason for that, but it was a football match. Yeah. I don't know why Green Bay Packers were brought up
in June. Yeah,
it was fun though.
Yeah, it was a good time. Yeah, we had a great time. So anyway, to the episode.
To the lecture at hand.
All right. So a lot of changes that were introduced last season for the 25-26 season. So we had one of the initiative was the only the captain initiative, right? So why do we need this?
Well, I mean, if you notice watching any soccer match, referee makes a decision and you've got 15 guys circling around the referee, either arguing or wanting to know what's going on or whatever. So, I can see that's why that's been an issue.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's kind of the you can call it the passion of the game, right? We had a previous episode of the unruly spectators. You can call it passion, and you can just call it poor behavior, right? So, you have. it trickles down from the professional game that all, a lot of these young kids watch.
Oh, for sure.
Week after week. And you see it at their stage. You see, players surrounding the referee, hands up in the air, asking for what's going on, what the heck, So it trickles down. It's not something that's, limited to just a certain level. You find it at any level of the game, right?
100%.
And it can be a real problem because it takes away from the match. It takes away from actually playing the match because now as a referee, you have to deal with all these people upset about something, and then the other team that's standing over here, they weren't affected necessarily by the call. They're like, well, if they're doing it, we're going to do it too. So it negatively impacts the game. As a viewer on TV, I see it, and yes, I'm a referee, and I'm maybe doubly pissed off about it, seeing that kind of stuff, right? But you see it as a spectator, and you're like, you know what, this is, come on, let's get on with it, right?
Right.
We're not saying that all the referees' decisions are always good, correct? I get it, but do we need to act like that? Do we need to, two wrongs don't make a right, right? No. So we have an initiative which is called Only the Captain.
Only the captain.
Only the captain. And what does that mean, Hunley? Tell me about it. Come on, right now.
Well, that means I'm only going to speak to the captain.
Yeah, as a referee, right?
Everybody else needs to.
Yeah. I'll speak to somebody.
Something else.
I'll speak to the captain.
Yeah.
And how do we as referees initiate that? We put our hands up like we do in high school and college, kind of like we're stop the clock, but putting the hands in the cross like this up above our heads and say, "Only the captain." So we had were you at the advanced research last fall? Okay, advanced research class. We had every year for all the regional referees, for all the emeritus, for all the upcoming stars that we have as referees. And for the past several years, our FIFA referee, John Freeman, has been leading that class and instructing. And his advice was, you should tell people first what you're doing and then do the signal. So you should tell people, hey, only the captain, I'm only going to speak to the captain, and then do that signal above your head. Because if you just do this, and they're going to be like, what's going on? So kind of set yourself up for success, right? So let them know what you're going to do.
Yeah.
And then I'm only talking to the captain. And I previously mentioned this on the high school level because we are required to speak to captains and coaches before the game.
Right.
And tell them this and that. During the boys' season, I will always say, I'm happy to talk to anybody about a call that I make. I will only speak to one person. It doesn't have to be the captain.
Right.
If the captain is over there and something happens here, I can talk to you. But I don't need several people coming in and ask me questions.
And it still needs to be respectful.
Right. I don't care if they're standing there, but if I'm being talked to by several different people at the same time, I can't.
I agree with you on that.
So
I'll talk to anyone, just as long as I don't have a swarm of people around me.
Well, this swarm of people doesn't so bother me as long as they're not being aggressive and chiming in at the same time. That's kind of what the sensory overload type of thing, right? So if I'm only talking to one person, I'm totally fine with that. And that's we're not always going to agree on things, right? It's not reasonable for us as referees to think that I'm making a call and you have to agree with it. If you don't agree with it, here's your yellow card. That's be cool about it. But anyway, so talk to one person at a time because the message is going to be the same. Yeah. I'm telling you, well, this is the call and this is what I saw. It's not going to change now that I'm talking to somebody else, right? No. So, okay. So that's the idea behind this initiative, right? Take the pressure off, and the visual of having a bunch of people attacking. It really is attacking the referee.
Yeah.
Coming at him.
Yeah. Visually, it looks a lot better,
and it sends a really poor message, right? So, and that's what that is about. Now, I know that's been implemented at the professional level. It's been kind of up to the different youth leagues to do that or not. Mm-hmm. I know here in Kansas City, the Heartland League, which is I don't know if it still is, but at one point it was the largest youth league in the nation. They did not adopt this initiative. Now, if you come out there as a referee and you do it, I guess you're on your own, I suppose. But as a league, they did not initiate that. So I mean, I don't have any experiences with it. And quite honestly, I don't referee a whole lot of youth games.
Right.
But that's one of the changes that's been made.
Use it if you wish.
Use it as you wish. I know that there was a provision in the, I'm going to scan through it real quick here, for the 26-27 year. I'm going to go all the way. Okay. So there's an advance notice, and this is, you can look all this stuff up in the IFAB, theifab.com, the laws. There's an advance notice that only the captain guideline will become compulsory protocol for all competitions as from July 1st, 2027. So that's next July. So a year
from now.
Just over a year from now. It will be compulsory, which is
that's word. A $2 word.
It's a word I don't usually use because that's the.
I don't even know what it means.
That's the Queen's English or the King's English, right? What does that mean? Mandatory.
Compulsory.
Right? Mandatory. So it'll become mandatory for all competitions next July. So in 2027.
Get used to it.
Ooh,
I'm okay with it.
Anyway, so yes. So enough of that. But there's also a little bit of additional text. Now in IFAB, in Federation, we always have to kind of keep separating that because the rules and laws aren't always the same for high school, college, Federation. There has to be a captain with an armband on the field for IFAB. I wasn't actually aware of that.
No.
Once I dug a little bit deeper. So it has to be a captain indicating with an captain armband that he's the captain or she's the captain. High school, I believe the wording is that the armband does not have to be worn, but if it is worn, it has to be on the arm. It can't be on the leg. And a lot of times girls like to put it on the calves.
The shin or the calf or ankle, or depends on how big your leg is.
Well, and the captain has no special privileges, but does carry a sense of responsibility for the behavior
of the players
of the team as a whole. So
right.
All right. The next rule. So, and I kind of put these together in a weird way now that I realize looking at it. So the 5-second count on the goalkeeper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, throat thing going on here. Which refers to the goalkeeper handling the ball. And all these laws, the changes in the laws, goalkeeper, and then they also addressed in the referee, how that is referee is different places where they address it in the law. Right. And I put law 5, the referee. So he signals the last 5 seconds. Goalkeeper has possession, clearly has possession of the ball, counting down 3, up here, and then the last 5 will be counted down.
Last 5, visually
with your hand. What happens if we're down to 0 and the ball is not released? We have a
corner kick,
right? And the corner kick is going to be nearest on the side where the goalkeeper was.
Goalkeeper was
right
in relation to the penalty area.
And for that, we actually had one of our friends, Devin Blazek, longtime referee. He's in Kansas administration now. When I say administration, he's the state youth referee administrator. Does a wonderful job. He's a great guy. Ton of knowledge. He's worked a humongous amount of. He's in his mid-30s, but he's been around for it seems like decades at the semi-pro level, youth level. I think he's well known. And
super fun to work with.
He is really fun to work with. Yeah, absolutely.
Super fun to work with.
So
I've learned a lot from that guy.
You said it first. So we're gonna check out his video right now of what he had to say, and we'll be right back.
Hi, Devin Blazek here. I am the State Youth Referee Administrator for the state of Kansas. I've also been a referee for 23-ish years, both on the collegiate level and then on the U.S. soccer side as well. Here to talk about my first experience with the recent law change that gives goalkeepers 8 seconds to control the ball with their hands before they need to get rid of it. So my first experience with this, because of the kinds of games that I work, was actually this past spring. I didn't do any U.S. soccer games last fall, right after the law change hit. So my first time having to deal with this was actually in the spring. And it was a rather interesting game because I had one team that was that played under U.S. soccer, so they played under IFAB rules. So they had been playing and were honestly more familiar with this whole 8-second concept at that point than I was. They had had a whole season to play with it, get used to it, and everything. That particular day, they were having a scrimmage match against a college team, and at this point, college NCAA had not adopted the 8-second rule. So going into this match, I kind of had to make a decision. I was like, okay, well, one team is very used to playing with the 8 seconds. One team has no idea what that is. So after having to talk with both coaches, especially the college coach, I said, hey, I know you're not used to this, but there's a good chance that come next fall, you're going to have to be playing under this 8-second rule as well if the NCAA decides to adopt it. And so that's kind of what we decided. So I then had a conversation with the goalkeepers for that college team and said, hey, look, I'm not going to go through this entire law with you, but I'm going to give you kind of the rundown of the basics just to keep you out of trouble. And it was a good kind of cooperative back and forth with us throughout the entire game, where I understood that this was kind of a new concept for them. They didn't really know what to expect. So I made sure that as I was counting down, and especially as my hand went up, where normally I might be kind of backpedaling towards midfield, waiting for that punt to come out, I kept really close to that keeper so that he could hear me audibly say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, as well as very easily see me going 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So that was kind of my way of addressing the discrepancy of education or law knowledge for that particular day. And you could see that there was times that it was a little bit frustrating to that keeper, not so much frustrated with me, but just frustrated like this is a whole new kind of concept and he had to make decisions a lot quicker than he was normally used to. But, 20, 30 minutes into the game, things kind of settled in, and I felt like everyone kind of knew what was going on, and the rest of the game went pretty smooth. But I think what it really illustrated to me was both with this change and any law change in the future, especially the first time that players are dealing with it, really kind of go overboard with the communication. Make sure that they understand, talk to them in pregame, make sure they understand it, but even during the middle of the game, make your communication with that law change very, very obvious, because, these players can kind of get into the routine, get into their game, kind of that game mentality. And sometimes those little details, especially the new details, start of kind of escaping them. So, that's why I think we as referees really have a hand in not just, enforcing the law of the game, but really kind of mentoring and helping the game move along in a more proactive way. So that is my experience, and I was glad I could share it with you.
Oh, wow. Good stuff there. Devin, thank you so much for sending that to us. Much appreciated. Good insight on how to on how to deal with a new law that maybe not everybody's aware of, right?
Right.
So what stood out to you on this one? What's the first thing that you feel like he did?
Just being proactive with the teams. He knows that one team has dealt with it, one team hasn't, but could potentially deal with it. So, just addressing it with both teams and coaches prior to the game, making sure everybody's on the same page.
Yeah, because you have one team that has played a whole season with this new law,
yeah,
and the other team is a college team. They don't have that, and they probably won't for. I don't think it'll be this next year. It'll probably be 2 years from now,
right?
Or a year from now, and they won't. They're like, what's going on, right? And instead of having to be surprised, being proactive and going to first the coaches, going to especially the goalkeepers and telling them, hey, this is what's going on. This is how we're going to do it. and having a collaborative relationship there and working together, right? So that's really what we want, right? So,
I like his point of over communicating.
Yeah.
Make sure everybody's on the same page. This is what we're going to do for this match because you guys obviously have worked with it. You will probably work with it in the future. Great stuff. Great stuff from Devin.
Just good refereeing, being on top of things and being proactive.
Setting yourself up for success.
Setting yourself up for success, but everybody, right?
Yep.
We're not out there trying to get people and having, gotcha moments where like, I'm, corner cake. I get you, Like, that's not what we want.
I'm not into that.
It's not, Some Metro referees, they're all about that. So, but
I agree.
Good refereeing, be proactive, talk about things that may not be obvious to everybody ahead of time.
What do we always say
at State Cup, right? We have these different rules at State Cup.
Yeah.
Everybody has to have their pennies on. Balls need to be put away.
Bench decorum,
right? Stuff that
bags all nice and
doesn't
neat
get always addressed during the regular season, but we bring this up before the games at State Cup and say, hey, just
substitutes waiting at midfield,
right?
Their
with cards,
comes off.
Just be proactive and let everybody know, hey, these are the expectations. This is what we're going to be doing today. So there's no surprises. That way, nobody's going to be upset at you for a reason that could have been easily avoided.
Well, and I mean, the lucky ones will eventually be in positions and on teams where that stuff is the norm.
Right.
Higher level.
Yeah.
Not everybody's going to play at a higher level, but some of them will. And that's what's expected at that level.
So, all right. So I think we beat that one to death. Very good.
With a billy club.
No, with a billy club. The other change was the drop ball change, which I feel like I've brought up previously. A couple of years ago, I had this instance where we had a right back kicking the ball over towards midfield, and we had a stoppage that wasn't a foul or anything. I called it drop ball, but I called it to the last touch where it came from, and coach got really upset about it and said, well, we would have had the ball. And I was like, well, yeah, I get this, and now it's changed to where if the ball goes to clear to a team that would have had possession, you drop ball to that team.
Drop ball to that team.
Unless the ball is in the, obviously, penalty area, which still goes to the goalkeeper, or it's kicked from the penalty area and you don't know where it's going to, and then you just give it back to the team that had the last touch. But now, drop it to the team that would have gotten possession if you hadn't blown the whistle just a second before.
Right.
So
I did have a couple mentoring opportunities to talk about this in the spring.
Yeah.
I did have a game where a young gentleman, was fairly new to blowing the whistle. Had an instance where we had an injury. He stopped play and the ball was in the penalty area. And they did not get the restart right, but we discussed
didn't have the penalty kick, did we?
No. It was, he gave a restart to the keeper.
Okay.
A direct free kick to the keeper.
Oh,
so my question at halftime was did you stop play for a foul? And he said no. And I kind of led him to the correct restart, where we should have had a drop ball to the keeper.
Right.
These are, our young referees who maybe don't have their confidence yet or their mind wrapped around all these changes and stuff. It's a good opportunity to kind of
and
get them going in the right direction.
Once you're a little bit more advanced, you can start thinking about these restarts probably as you're blowing the whistle, or even maybe sometimes before you blow the whistle, you're kind of already in the mode.
You already know what's going on.
If you're young and inexperienced, you might blow your whistle, deal with what's going on, then you're like, what's the restart? So it'll come with experience for sure.
Yeah.
Another change, ball in and off play. So this kind of deals with a player that's off the pitch, or let's say a coach that's obviously not on the field. Ball's going out of bounds. is not quite yet out, but the person stops the ball
because it's going out.
But it's not
trying
quite
to help.
But it's trying to help, but it's not quite yet out. Yeah. So there, I know we had we spoke about the advanced clinic. I spoke about it a little bit ago.
We had a video clip on
one of the videos was where the ball goes, the player takes a shot, ball goes well past the goal, and we have the warming up players on the sideline over there, and he stops the ball, not realizing that ball wasn't actually yet out, stopped before it went out.
The ball, yeah.
That player got a yellow card for it. Well, that's as long as there's no malicious intent of inserting yourself into the game. If it's just an honest mistake, then it doesn't need to be a yellow card now. And no caution needed. And we'll just have, a drop ball. So, right? Do we have a drop ball? Yeah. Oops, I kind of caught myself off.
Indirect free kick.
Oh, it's an indirect free kick.
There is no sanction.
I'm sorry, indirect free kick, but no sanction is needed now. Where it was before, a yellow card was mandatory. A caution was mandatory on it. So just indirect free kick, and no harm done. Now, as long as that player isn't trying to keep the ball in to play it back to the teammate or something, but
right,
yeah. So
I feel like that'd be fairly obvious.
I think so. So, and in that instance, if players are too close or the coach is too close to the field, then you can address, hey, remember your technical area. Let's make sure you stay in there, right? So. There's a few changes on VAR protocol. And I don't know that we need to really super get into it because for most of us, that doesn't apply. And for those that it does apply to, they get training from other places. And
not the Check Complete
I don't
podcast.
think that they're watching the Check Complete podcast to get ideas and how to work that.
You should be watching the Check Complete podcast.
Hey, maybe so. All right. So for the next season, law changes introduced for 26-27 for the upcoming season. And the first one is about players and numbers of substitutes in international games again. Those referees.
Most of us won't touch that.
We will not touch that. Right? So
you and I won't touch that.
I know I won't. But let's see. For senior A international games, increased to 8 substitutes now, or to 11 if both teams agree to it before the game starts. But the 3 substitution opportunities are still the same.
Right.
So they get 3 moments. To make the substitutions. Now, the one that does come in play is the 10-second rule for substitutions. And I almost certainly have implemented that in MLS this year because I do remember John Freeman talking about it at some point. So when the substitution is initiated by either holding up the board on the sideline or for us common referees where we don't have a fourth official with the board and we like, waving the subs, right?
Same thing.
Almost. Players have, and again, this may be in your youth league, this is likely not being enforced yet.
Right.
So I would be very careful in your first week of league play to make that a point of emphasis. Talk to your assigner first and make sure that's implemented in your league. But there's a 10-second rule for players to leave the field. Okay. So within 10 seconds of either board showing or them substituting, it's being initiated, they need to leave the field. Or what happens?
Well, the oncoming
player
now has to wait.
It has to wait
a full minute. And it needs to be
at the next stoppage.
Not next stoppage.
So at the next stoppage, which will be at least 1 minute after that substitution, they're going to be held that long a sideline. So
they may not. I mean, very unlikely, but there could be a possibility where they don't enter the game for
minutes,
3, 4, 5 minutes.
I've had substitutes waiting at the sideline, waiting to get subbed in, and we don't have a stoppage for them to come in for, for some time.
So there's your incentive to get off the pitch.
So it is, and it sounds like at the MLS level where they have implemented this past year, it's made an impact and it's really have worked. But why do we need this rule?
Time wasting,
right? It's like all these other rules that they kind of bring in. A couple of them that we talk about.
I will say the World Cup games that I've seen so far, the substitution process has been very quick.
Yeah,
they're running off, their guys running on, and we're back playing. So sure. I am a fan of this.
Absolutely,
for sure.
Because a lot of times you see, a player that's first of all he's like, oh, is that my number? He's looking. He's like, am I number?
He knows he's getting.
Am I number 10? oh, it is me. Okay, I'm coming off, and then he's taking off his.
You got to give the captain's armband to somebody else,
and it's probably going to give it to the guy furthest away.
This he congratulates.
All the fans.
Thanks all the fans.
Thank you. And he turns
25
around.
seconds.
There's fans on the other side too, and
those are my favorite.
And he goes to shake somebody's hand, maybe the referee's hand. Thank you so much for. So it right. We've all seen it.
I mean, we're trying to exaggerate it, but like it's not.
And we're not talking about
an exaggeration.
And we're not talking about a superstars farewell game here. We're talking about
it's just a Saturday morning game,
right? So. Well, but you speak of Saturday morning. Now we have the interesting issue of league games, and that's why I say this may not be implemented in your league game because we do not want substitutes to leave on the far side of the field in youth leagues, and certainly not high school and college. And there's a reason for that because now we have underage kids unsupervised over there with in front of parents, passionate fans,
unruly, passionate fans.
This is certainly something that's going to be probably only at the high level.
Yeah.
For right now, for sure.
I'm all right with that.
So just make sure that you do check with your local competition first. Don't take our word for this. But yes, it's for time wasting. Absolutely. It takes a long time sometimes for these players to come off.
Well, my concern always with leaving the pitch at the nearest point, to exit, was if you've got an opposing player coming around the opposite direction.
Now he's walking across.
Now he's coming
all
across
the other parents and the other
opposing team's parents, the opposing team's bench.
And a lot of things can happen.
If I'm passing by your bench, do you think I'm going to pass behind the bench, or am I going to pass in front of the bench?
It only takes one dirty look for something to really happen, right? So,
and we could have supplemental reports and all that stuff
now,
that we love to do.
In the case that there's multiple substitutions, I believe that the way it's handled is that all the players have to have left 10 seconds after that last substitution is announced. So if there's, one player, we get the board up, coming out, another, next board comes out and then switch really fast. So when that last board is put up, 10 seconds from then is everybody needs to be off. So what happens if the player is not off after the 10 seconds? We talked about it, right? The player coming on has to wait for the next stoppage.
Full minute.
For the next stoppage, at least one full minute.
At least 1 full minute.
Yes.
Yep.
And teams don't have the choice of saying, "Oh, okay, then we don't want to sub then." We don't want.
No, you're already up there.
You're already.
It's already been initiated.
The sub is already complete, right? So, all right.
But again, so far watching the World Cup, I am a fan. It's
that's one of the big things.
So much quicker.
Big frustration for teams, and then now you have somebody's not going off quickly enough. Now you have one of the opposing other players
team
trying to push them off, hurry up type of thing. You don't. This should take.
Probably, or they're yelling at you as the referee.
Waste the time. About it? Yeah,
you're like, I got the time.
It should really take care of it.
Yeah.
So now another rule. The next one. Are we done with this one, or is there anything? I think
we're done.
I think we're done.
Yeah. 10 seconds.
10 seconds. Players' equipment is something that I don't know if you really looked into this. So now accessories are permitted if they are not dangerous and if safely secured and covered. And I know on the high school side, we have had, we've been allowing beads in the hair and those kind of things, as long as they're not causing a danger for somebody else.
Right.
But the way I'm reading it now is that,
So let's make an easy one. Earrings.
No, that's jewelry. Jewelry is still not permitted.
Okay.
Jewelry's out.
I read this wrong then.
Yeah, jewelry is still out. But other accessories, and I'm talking,
must be removed.
And I'm talking about
Sorry.
Things like rubber bands around your wrist, maybe hair ties, watches. This, to me, that's really confusing, and I think this is probably something that some referees will be very keen to insert themselves and make a big deal out of.
I can see that.
Yeah. So I think there needs to be something coming out more from IFAB, because it's very, very vague the way that they're wording this. And the use of jewelry, and I'm reading this exactly from how it came from IFAB, is potentially confusing, as some of the items listed do not constitute jewelry, which I agree with that.
True.
The banning of jewelry created confrontation, and has been inconsistently applied. I agree with that as well. It also overlooked cultural, religious, medical, and personal reasons for wearing certain items. The focus is on non-dangerous items being allowed if safely and securely covered, while dangerously items remain forbidden. So, if somebody has a watch, and
they couldn't make that more confusing.
So lots, for us to interpret. Yes, but so I'm reading it as, if I have a watch and I'm going to cover it with some tape or like a wristband or something, that's going to be fine. Yeah, and maybe we need to have an episode on this and maybe get deep.
We may have to
get some experts on this.
We may have to run this one back.
Yeah,
later when we get more info.
Okay, and especially for,
because that's clear as mud.
Now, again, this is an IFAB. This will not be a high school rule.
Right.
This will not be a college rule, because high schools, they're on a 2-year cycle. So any new rules, I think they're going to be always 2 years behind. So anyway, so then we have VAR business to talk about. And that kind of came up in games just recently.
It did.
So we have technology to make, let's see. So VAR may review an incorrect red card resulting from a clearly wrong second yellow card. Right. A player wrongly being shown a red or yellow card when the offense was committed by another player of either team. And that's the one we're going to talk about in a second.
That's the one, that we saw.
A wrongly awarded corner kick if the decision can be changed immediately and without delaying a restart. And that's one that I feel like could have been implemented a couple of times in games I watched at the World Cup, and it hasn't.
But it's only, we can only give
only if it's a corner kick is awarded, but it should have been
a goal kick.
Not the other way around.
Right. We're not awarding corner kicks.
Guys. Correct.
So if they got that one wrong, sorry.
So player wrongly being shown a red or yellow card when the offense was committed by another player of either team. So what are we talking about this instance?
We're talking about the U.S. game.
United States against, who did they play? Paraguay. Okay, we got old Grandpa Ream.
Grandpa Ream gets a yellow card for a
yellow card for what the referee called stopping a promising attack. It comes after the VAR gets involved. Well, he never actually really touched him. The referee turns around and
flip the yellow
takes the yellow card. It was a free kick outside the penalty area.
Yep.
Takes back the yellow card for Ream and gives the Paraguayan winger a yellow card for simulation.
Yep.
Okay. So me as the non-referee fan, I'm like, oh, that's the right call. Spirit of the game, absolutely. That's correct because he didn't foul him.
I agree with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now that yellow isn't wrongly applied and affects him moving forward.
Right, moving forward correctly
for the tournament.
Right. Now the problem I think that most everybody in our group chat when we kind of talking about this, I didn't actually watch the game in live. I was at work, so I kind of followed the chat. Was you can't really do that because the way it reads is you can only give a mistaken identity. So if I give the yellow card to player A at the United States team, but it was actually player B that committed the foul, I can change. Oh, you didn't. It wasn't you. It was this guy, and give a card for that. For that foul to somebody else. But they completely reversed the call and said this wasn't a foul, it was simulation, and took away the card for the foul and gave it to the diving player. Again, ultimately, yes, it was the right. It was in the spirit of the game and everything is correct, but I think the way it was implemented.
I mean, the way this reads, kind of a player wrongly being shown a red or yellow card when the offense was committed by another player of either team.
Right. He was certainly
reading that
wrongly giving a yellow card. Yes,
he gave the yellow card to the wrong person. It should have went to him for a simulation. So, whether you agree or not,
I think they massaged the laws a little bit, to get the correct call. And I think
that's fair.
I would put money on it that next time there's going to be a revision, it's going to be in there. This instance is going to be in there because all the laws
going to be
like we
more specifically worded.
We talked about last episode. All these things, all these sometimes seemingly weird laws, they're in there for a reason. It happens sometime at some place.
Yep.
Right. So, anyway.
I'm curious to see if the wording of that changes.
Yeah.
After this.
So there's a few more things. One big one I wanted to point out was the throw in that we actually had happen. Was it the first game of the
second game?
Second game of the World Cup.
Yep. It was not the Mexico game.
Right. So if a player's unfairly delaying the taking of a throw in for their team, the referee will whistle and signals the start of a 5-second countdown. Mm-hmm. The referee will visually count down the 5 seconds with a raised hand, and if the throw has not been taken by the end of the 5 seconds, it's awarded to the opposing team. So that's a new concept, and kind of different than what IFAB in the past has always done, because they've been always like, well, if the team is time wasting, we have cautions. But now they're like, well, we're going to change the restart. If you can't do it in 5 seconds, we're going to give it to this team and have you do it.
I got to say I'm okay with that too.
The offending players caution only if they excessively delay the restart after the throw-in has been awarded to the opposing team. So, I'm a fan of it. Again, I think it's the implementation is going to be interesting on. And every referee is different. Yeah. My 5 seconds aren't going to be the same as your 5 seconds. But I feel like as long as we make it obvious to everybody what's going on, we should be successful, right?
Yeah.
And it's obviously to avoid the delays and throw-ins. And it's again, one of those things that are frustrating for, it's usually a team that's winning is doing this, right? So,
I think it causes... back to the substitute leaving the field in not the most perfect spot of the pitch, right? I'm okay with it.
So
I'm okay with it.
So let's say you have
it's causing issues that probably weren't going to be an issue prior. If the sub is leaving in the opposing team's fan area or bench area, it can cause problems that don't need to be there.
Yeah.
I think that just kind of eliminates that too. You're not you got 5 seconds, you don't get it in, we switch.
Yeah. And
if I'm wasting a lot of time and you're getting frustrated, now that could cause issues to where maybe as a referee, I'm going to have to caution you for your reaction to their.
I see this a lot on the high school and college level where, the winning team, we have a throw in and here comes the player that's maybe right there.
Yep.
Picks up the ball.
Looks around, then drops it for somebody else.
I guess he's taking the throw in.
Yeah.
Now, in the first half at 0-0, I don't think anybody cares.
No.
But obviously, at some point, this is clearly a time wasting exercise, right? So we need ways to address this. And again, this is only IFAP, not college or high school, so be aware of that. But it is a step in the right direction. So
I'm a fan.
Yeah, I am too. And the same with the goal kicks too. So ball's down. Here we go. We have a goal kick, and then no, we're going to pick up this ball. I'm going to put it over here. Right? We're not quite ready. Or the defender isn't taking the goal kick. It's the goalkeeper taking the goal kick. There's ways to slow things down, to waste time, right?
Yeah.
And it's just giving us tools to deal with this, right?
Right.
So, all for it.
A little update. We are in the 48th minute of Netherlands and Japan.
Okay.
Still 0-0.
Ooh, no goals. Yeah.
No goals.
All right. So I think we touched just about everything.
Just about everything.
And I know we have at the World Cup now we have these mandatory hydration breaks, or are they called commercial?
Those are commercial breaks.
Or is
Those
it
are not?
Yeah. Is it Fox TV commercial breaks?
Yeah.
We are clearly not sponsored by a Fox.
They are for making money.
And if we were, we are no more. But yeah, I don't see. Here's the thing, and I know that FIFA has said we want to have hydration breaks in all games. I get it.
I'm cool with that.
Some of those games,
keep it consistent with every game.
You get the heat, you get the humidity, and people from other parts of the world may not understand.
Yeah, they don't know what a Kansas August is like or July.
Ridiculous. Okay, and I totally get the hydration breaks, and they're saying, well, we want it even for all games. We don't want, we want, if we're going to do breaks, we're going to do
cool
more
with
games.
That.
Even the ones that are in domes. Whether it's
what was the one the other day? It was like
70 degrees.
I think it was Mexico the other day was like 71 degrees and the humidity was like 55%.
The opening game. It was like
Mexico.
Yeah, 78 or 79 degrees.
Yeah.
And they're like, it's
like, do we need 50% humidity?
If you're going to make the rule,
prime playing conditions.
I totally get it for all games, but it's clearly at this point it's a commercial break because they're we're not staying at the game. We're going to do it right to commercial and thank you, Fox. And and there was at least one game, the first or second game, where we didn't make it back to actually play until the commercial was over. So
and now they've got a guy with an iPad by the fourth official, making sure.
Yeah, and now we're holding it. Yeah. Anyway, but let's see.
What do you guys feel about that?
Yeah,
send those comments in.
All about
let us know your frustrations from the first weekend of World Cup.
Absolutely.
Or not frustrations.
Oh, one thing
you think has been great?
One thing I haven't even it hasn't even come up in any of the games is the covering your mouth when you're in a confrontational situation. So this happened in and I didn't watch the game, a UEFA Champions League game.
What player was
I
that?
believe.
Was that Brazil?
No, it's
a Brazilian player.
No, it was a well, okay. Could have been a Brazilian player.
They were pointing out somebody specific.
Somebody there was a confrontation between two players, and the player's covering his mouth, and he's
we got an update.
Supposedly, not yet. Supposedly saying insensitive racial comment to the other player, who then got upset about it. So covering the law or the change is covering the mouth. Players who cover their mouths with their hands while in a confrontational situation with an opponent will be issued a red card. So I mean that's why we haven't seen it. Because they all know.
I mean, think about that though. That's a tricky situation.
Yeah.
If that's not in play,
right?
Like me covering my mouth, I could I mean, I could say anything to you.
Everybody's doing it
but
now.
the referee's not
right
close enough to hear what I'm saying.
Yes, absolutely.
You know,
another one is
kind of have to err on the on the worst case scenario,
and that's what they're doing. It's like it's happened. It's there's lip readers all over the world.
Well, I mean, look at football. What are those Instagram videos? Bad lip reading, where they just voice over football coaches and players and stuff. So So now when you go to a football sideline, they cover their mouths.
All coaches do it. And then they do it so they can read the plays.
Baseball pitchers and catchers are always covering their mouth when they're talking to each other. Yeah,
it's so that you can read whatever the play is coming next. So they,
but it's the same, kind of the same along the same lines.
Sure. And that's about it. We have another one about protests and walkouts. It happened I want to say it was the African Cup final where one of the teams was unhappy about a decision or something, and they just walked off for a penalty decision or something, and they walked off for 10 minutes off the field and like, hey, what's going on? And they protested this call that was made, and it took them like 10 minutes to come back on the field. And now
they'll automatically force
players will leave the field in protest of the referee's decision to receive a red card. If an entire team's walk off in protest and causes a match to be abandoned, they automatically forfeit the game. So it was actually a big deal like this past spring on one of the games. But yeah, that's coming in the next year or so.
Well, our little update was Netherlands scored in looked like the 51st minute. So Netherlands 1, Japan 0.
All right. Well,
a lot of game left.
Let's go watch that second half of that. And
don't tempt me with a good time.
Anything else you want to say?
No, this has been good. And we'll, like I said, if you have comments, questions, concerns, good, bad, ugly,
leave a comment.
Send them over on the socials or the what is it? Check complete
at Law
5 Films.
I'm gonna put that right there.
Right there.
Or just leave a comment
in front of my face.
YouTube's. Yeah.
All right. So
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Check complete.